Wolfgang Van Halen recently shared his thoughts on his father, Eddie Van Halen's profound impact on 1980s music, suggesting that Eddie's revolutionary guitar techniques unintentionally disrupted the era's musical landscape by inspiring a wave of imitators. Eddie's legendary solo, Eruption, from Van Halen's 1978 debut album, redefined rock guitar and helped spark a shredding trend, alongside the contributions of another guitar icon, Randy Rhoads. While groundbreaking, this trend of technical showmanship has drawn mixed opinions over the years. Speaking on with Mark Maron podcast, Wolfgang reflected on his father's influence. In a way, Dad kind of ruined the musical landscape because instead of musicians finding their own voice, they just wanted to copy him. Wolfgang also noted that many fans overlook Eddie's true genius. People focus on his guitar skills, but the real magic was in his songwriting. That's what I aim for too. It's not just about flashy techniques. While acknowledging some drawbacks, Wolfgang praised musicians like Paul Gilbert, an 80s shredder who brought creativity to the movement. He's an example of someone who took that style in an interesting direction. Wolfgang added, Steve Lukather of Toto echoed these views, emphasizing that Eddie never intended to create the shredding phenomenon. In the 70s, we were just focused on making good music, Lukather said. Eddie came along and changed the game. I remember him telling me, I didn't mean to start all this madness, but he truly did. Eddie was the father of shred, but he was always so much more than that. I've always been more of a melodic player and never wanted to follow that path. Wolfgang Van Halen recently put an end to the long-standing rivalry between Eddie Van Halen and Randy Rhoads by taking on the iconic guitar parts of Randy Rhoads during a performance of Crazy Train. He symbolically bridged the divide between the two legendary musicians. Ozzy Osbourne, who was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the second time, joining the likes of Eric Clapton, John Lennon, and Jimmy Page, hosted a grand and gothic ceremony where Wolfgang's performance became the standout moment. In the early 1980s, Randy Rhoads' role as Ozzy's lead guitarist sparked a heated debate among fans, comparing him to Eddie Van Halen. Both musicians fed into the rivalry, with Rhoads only rarely acknowledging Eddie's talent. Wolfgang's decision to perform Rhoads' solos effectively brought closure to this decades-long debate. Wolfgang shared that the opportunity came directly from Ozzy. When Ozzy asks, you can't say no, he said,